The key part is that most financial advisors, people in financial services are trained and taught in one product. They're a great stock trader. They're a great person that just manages bonds. They're a great life insurance person. They're a great person that just does, property, casualty, auto, home, and that's the only thing they focus in on.
Welcome to Business Ninjas, brought to you by WriteForMe, where you'll hear from business leaders who are out there growing their business and slaying it every day. Learn from the masters. Let's get started.
Hi, and welcome to another episode of Business Ninjas. I'm here today with Jeremy Straub, founder and CEO of Coastal Wealth. Jeremy, how you doing today?
Doing great, Andrew. Thanks for having me on.
My pleasure. Appreciate you spending some time with us on Business Ninjas. Please tell us a bit about yourself and about Coastal Wealth.
Sure. Been in the business now 25 years in financial services and been running the company for about 9 years when I founded it. I was an executive with a Fortune 500 company, saw some problems inside the industry and wanted to be able to build a company to solve some of those problems for the financial advisors in our industry.
And what are most of the problems that the most common problems you're solving for your clients?
So, as a company, we have 400 financial advisors. So we really see the financial advisor as the client, and the financial advisor then services the end retail client. So really the problems that we had to solve was more for the financial advisor than opposed it is to the end retail client. And really, it's just, solving a couple technology issues, scaling issues. Each of the financial advisor is basically their own business owner. And so being a business owner, just like if it was somebody running a small law firm, running their own personal practice, it's very similar. And their ability to scale and move from just practicing law to be able to scale is the same way a financial advisor is. I'm used to just financially advising my clients, but then how do I build a business at the same time? And that's really where we came in.
So your clients are all financial advisors, or do you have some end users as well?
Well, be honest, the financial advisors' clients still are Coastal Wealth's clients. So the same thing. But as we think about really, if I do a really good job supporting a financial advisor, the clients are very well benefited. So if the client wants good holistic advice, good financial planning advice that's objective, unbiased, with the best financial service products out there, with someone that is knowledgeable and experienced, it's my job to make sure that advisor is all that for the client, so they end up getting the best service and support.
Of course. And those end clients, are these all consumers, or what verticals do you service with Coastal Wealth?
Yeah, our typical client is the mass affluent. Let's call it the $500,000 to $5 million net worth. That's a large piece of it. We do have some very niche businesses where we do high-end insurance for the ultra high net worth, which is the $100 million plus client. And that's really just insurance solutions. And there's a couple of niche parts that we have in the business. But in general, it's financial planning to the mass affluent is what most of our advisors service, with a couple of advisors that focus in on the family offices and the ultra high net worth.
Gotcha. And what makes Coastal Wealth stand out? What's the differentiator for your business?
The key part is that most financial advisors, people in financial services, are trained and taught in one product. They're a great stock trader. They're a great person that just manages bonds. They're a great life insurance person. They're a great person that just does, property, casualty, auto, home, and that's the only thing they focus in on. And what we found is, if you go to the ultra wealthy, they usually have a family office, somebody that does all their financial services for them. If you go down to a client that, doesn't have the means for a family office, they still would like one person, one company to support them in all their financial needs. So no matter what happens in their life, there's always a smart place for them to be able to get money. And so where our niche really is making sure that our advisors have the resources, the training and support, that they can be that place that no matter what happens in someone's life, there's always a smart place to get money.
That makes total sense. And in terms of things happening in life, COVID happened to us all. Tell us about the opportunities and challenges of growing and scaling your business through COVID.
So COVID's been positive in many ways. In other ways, we've had to pivot to be able to do it. It's been positive in the sense that the efficiency of an advisor has increased because clients no longer just need to see you in person, right? It is actually very rare they want to see you in person unless it's a first meeting where they want to look you in the eyes and trust you and feel comfortable with you. Or it's something where it's a big enough deal that they just want to be able to sit down face to face. But even our retired clients would prefer not to have to get in the car and drive or have you over their home or anything like that to be able to do that. So they've been able to see a lot more client meetings and service more clients than they did beforehand. For my own business, though, is we had a lot of real estate. We had a lot of office buildings and that our advisors sat in across the whole Southeast. And it's been a challenge for us that advisors enjoy working from home. Clients don't want to meet in the offices anymore. And what do we do at that point? We don't want to force advisors to be in the office and employees to be in the office. We've moved to a model where it's optional if you're in the office or not. But that has changed our perspective. So even when an advisor who's, like I said before, is our client or an employee wants to meet with me, they'd rather meet me at a coffee shop or restaurant or come to my house because they feel like it's more relationship based. I meet them in the office, they feel like they're not as important and it's stale. And so even when I want to try to be efficient and meet everybody in the office, people don't want to meet me in the office. And these are people that work with us. They don't want to do it. So for us, a big piece has been unwinding our leases and buildings that we own to be able to do that and still be able to give the same type of support and structure to our staff and our advisors that they stay engaged and we're still getting the most out of them in being able to support our end clients.
Well, that makes total sense. And I'm hoping that the pandemic taught your elderly clients in Florida how to use Zoom so they could take meetings that way instead of having to drive across town.
What's interesting is because of grandchildren and FaceTime, a lot of the retired clients got very comfortable with the idea of screens because that's the way they interact with the grandkids, that it wasn't a hard transition to it. The hard part's like, okay, no, you got to go look in your email and look at the link we sent, just making sure that they know that part. But they're very comfortable with video now, and most have iPads just to keep in touch with the grandkids.
Let's talk about the marketing side for a second. What role has content played in the growth of Coastal Wealth?
So, the idea beforehand, let's put it this way. I think the new storefront is how people see you online, right? The idea of a brick and mortar business being a storefront or a billboard or a TV ad, I don't think works anymore. And so the first thing someone's going to do when they're referred to you, let's say that, you were referred to me from your friend that I work with as a financial advisor, is you're going to talk to me, but you're going to Google me first. And the idea that it's just a picture of me on a website doesn't add a lot of credibility to who I am and what I do. And so the idea that they can be able to get a better understanding of you and your business through content that you've put out there, whether it's social media or blog or in some way podcast interviews like this, where they can feel like they know you already and have a sense of who you are and what you do, gives them more confidence and comfort to be able to actually have a conversation and talk with you.
Absolutely. Hey, we may be returning to in-person meetings, but the vast majority of it is still happening this way or just antiseptic searches. You have to tell your story, especially in your space. I mean, trust is paramount in the investment world. People have to know why they should trust you with their money and their business. Absolutely.
That's exactly right.
Look down the road a year. What are some things you'd like to be celebrating personally and professionally?
Oh, wow. Well, on a personal side, I recently got over stage 4 throat cancer a year ago. So for me in particular, it's continuing to get clear scans and feel really good. That's kind of my part, is worrying about my health and worried about being around for the kids. And I just passed my annual scan, my first annual scan like 2 weeks ago. So that's my only personal thing I kind of stick in my head and be able to do it. I went through 6 rounds of chemo and around 7 weeks of radiation every day. So it was, right now I'm just feeling pretty good about that. And making sure that I continue my health as it is right now. As for business wise, sorry to hit you with something heavy. I wasn't.
Every hair on me just stood up. Congratulations, continued health to you. Please finish your thought.
Oh, thanks. And then business wise, really, the big focus is on helping our advisors become better business owners to service the end client. And the more that a financial advisor has the systems and processes in place to increase the level of advice and service they give to the clients, the better the end client is supported. And so really I'm stuck on consulting those advisors to make sure that they have very good processes and systems to be able to best service the end client. And so that's really where, if I look at most of our infrastructure and support, is really around helping those advisors run better businesses so they can give better advice and better education to those end clients.
I repeat, congratulations. Not that you didn't know beforehand, but the most valuable commodity there is time, right? And I'm glad to hear that you have much more of it. So,
it's easy to forget. I told somebody, I get the question all the time, like, what would you learn from it? And it's one of those things where it's, you don't know if there's this huge aha that comes from it. But the big thing that did come out was the idea between problems and inconveniences. And in life, you think all these things are problems, like whatever it is that you're dealing with, business, personal, kids, blah, blah. Very rare do you have a problem. Most of those are inconveniences. You get one of those big health scares like that. That's you're like, oh, this is actually a real problem. I can't believe I even stressed about the other stuff. And now you play out a year, I still worry about problems and not understanding their inconveniences. So it's this constant process of reminding yourself.
Yeah, we got to remember what first world problems we have, because in the grand scheme of things, most of them fall into that category, don't they? Please tell us, what's your URL? Where can people find Coastal Wealth, and what social media outlets are you using these days as well?
So mycoastalwealth.com is the best place to find us on the website. And then it's the same deal with all our social media handles is My Coastal Wealth.
Jeremy Straub of Coastal Wealth, thank you for spending some time with us today on Business Ninjas. I truly appreciate your time. All the best to you and yours. Continued success and health to you.
Got it. I appreciate the time.
Be well.